Hi, Lynn. Thank you for sitting down with me today to chat training. So, tell me what got you into training. Tell me about your background.
My background is mostly from the zoo. I worked at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. I did different things, sold tickets, then gradually got into zookeeping and taking care of the animals. And then I was one of the people in education who came out on stage with the animal and would talk about the
Ooh,
animal. So that gave me a lot of experience talking to the public and educating people, which I've always really liked doing. And then gradually I just got more and more experience with animals and then was in a department where I was working more with trained animals and training animals. And that was the moment where I thought, hey, I like this. This is really kind of a cool thing. A cool way to interact with animals is learning to speak the same language and trying to communicate with them in a certain way so that you can make their lives easier,
yeah.
especially in a zoo environment. That's very important to reduce stress for animals. At the same kind of time, my husband and I had adopted a new family member. And so I saw how much this dog needed some of that training. So I kind of combined both. And I thought, I want to explore more of this training. That's how I got into specifically dog training, but it was through working in the exotic animal world. So I've really enjoyed the journey, and all of that has
Yeah.
provided me with a way to work with dogs and work with people. Not only working with dogs and teaching them new things, I'm teaching people new things, and that's a lot of it, and one of my favorite parts of the job, actually.
Awesome. Yeah. It's fun because people often come into this because they love the animals and things like that. But hearing how much, passion you have for working with the people also is such an important part of it. And I have to ask, working at the zoo, what was your favorite animal to train?
I loved working with snakes and learning how to handle them. I didn't really do a whole lot of training with them specifically, but learning how to handle them, learning how to interact with them in a way on stage to help people understand what this animal was and not just to be afraid of them. The snakes and reptiles, I loved working with, actually.
I love that you rolled that into your dog training as well because your rattlesnake avoidance courses are wonderful. So super cool stuff there. So, what is your favorite behavior to teach with dogs and why?
So my favorite behavior is not one that people normally think about. It's called find it. Most people do it all the time. I teach it in levels too, because there's experience levels for dogs of basic find it to really finding things that are hidden. So I start at all on the basic level, which people already know how to do, which is just tossing a treat to your dog and expecting them to track it and be able to
Yeah.
find it. So amazingly, I find there's many dogs out there that can't track a treat, and it's not really their fault. They just don't learn to do it. So we wouldn't throw a ball at a child really quickly like we would an adult and then expect them to catch it. They have to learn how to do that. They have
Yeah.
to learn how to track things. For find it, really important. I like to dogs to understand that they can track something and find something on the ground that we offered them, and then taking that and helping the dog not be worried or frightened about things that are bothering them, taking them out
Yeah.
of their immediate environment and turning their attention towards something else. Really building on their use of their nose, which works parts of their brain. It's a very simple behavior that you can expand really widely, and it just excites me. So I'm out of breath. Like it excites.
Love that. That's a really cool behavior that you're right. Most people don't think of it. Last question. What do you do with your pets? Because you have a few of them when you are not training.
So I have an 11-and-a-half-year-old dog who enjoys sleeping, and that's just fine. And I also have two cats, one of whom is almost about 19, and the other is going to be 15 next year. So elderly animals, right? And so it actually kind of fits my lifestyle really well right now because I am quite sedentary and not going anywhere and not doing a lot of things. So part of the way I enjoy my dog and my cats is what they're capable of at this age. So my cats enjoy sleeping and resting a lot. That's fine. I play with them a little bit. They do a little bit and they're done within a few minutes. And same for my dog. When my husband and I got her, we were like, we're going to go camping with her. We're going to do hiking. We're going to be doing all these things. Quickly we realized that she wasn't going to be that kind of dog. She has a lot of fears, environmental fears, all of those great things. And we've worked a lot on those, but she's still not capable of going on big hikes, anything like that. It would be too much for her in a bad way. For her, we do a lot of find it. There's my find it. I do a lot of hiding treats for her in the yard. So, we're not doing what I necessarily had pictured for us in the beginning, but that's okay. And so now that she's older, our little play times are shorter and smaller, but I also do some training with her and it's all good. Like right now she's
Yeah.
sleeping, that's good for me. Like I'm okay with that.
What I love about that is how you adjusted your expectations for what you would do with your dog, what that life would look like with your dog
Yeah,
based on what your dog's needs were.
yeah,
And that's such an important part of being a pet owner is, recognizing, like expectation versus reality, right?
yeah.
Here's what I want to do with my dog, but here's what my dog wants to do. And that's
Mhm.
just as important, if not more so, than what I wanted to do. So
Yeah,
let's roll with what they're comfortable with and we'll build as much as we can, but we'll let them be where they are most comfortable being. And
yeah.
I love that. I'm so grateful to have you on our team because you bring that really, you know, realistic expectation towards the training, and we just adore that. And
Yay.
thank you so much for chatting with me
Oh, you're
today.
welcome.
And thank you again for being part of our San Diego trainer team.
Yay. Thanks, Juliet.
Yay.